nínú ọ̀rọ̀ tí Seyi Makinde sọ ńgbà tó lọ wo àwọn ọmọ yìí nílé ìwòsàn ti iléeṣẹ́ ológun, èmi ò mọ̀ pé Seyi Makinde ó sọ wípé ọ̀rọ̀ tó délẹ̀ yìí kì í sí ọ̀rọ̀ ká máa di ẹ̀bi lé ẹnìkan lórí, ńlágbájá ló jẹ̀bi, tàmẹ̀dùn ló jẹ̀bi, làkàṣègbè ló jẹ̀bi, pé ọ̀rọ̀ ká fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ la wà yìí. ọ̀rọ̀ ń bẹ tá a máa sọ tí gómìnà Seyi Makinde sọ sẹ́yìn níbi tó ti ń tì í sí Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu àtìjọba àpapọ̀ páwọn ni wọ́n orchestrate ìjínigbé tó ṣẹlẹ̀ nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́, àbí kí nìyẹn túmọ̀ sí? Pé kò tí ì tó wákàtí 24 tó ń declare pé òun fẹ́ díje fúnpò ààrẹ náà nìjínigbé ọ̀hún ṣẹlẹ̀. nìyẹn túmọ̀ sí wípé láti disrupt intention o, ambition o, ńlọ́jẹ́ kí ìjínigbé ó wáyé, bóyá wọ́n mọ̀ bóyá ìjọba àpapọ̀ ló jí ọmọ gbé. àwa náà rò sí Seyi Makinde náà pé kọ́mọ̀ jẹ́pọ̀ náà lọ́fẹ́ fi ṣòṣèlú láti ìbàjọba àpapọ̀ ló kọjá gbogbo síbi tá a ronú lọ. ẹni tó bá fẹ́ parọ́ ló kù, àtàwọn àtẹ̀yìn àjọ òró sọ̀tún àjọ òró sósì pé pọ́n ń ṣàkókò ìdí ọjọ́ gàté kọjọ́ gàté, eégún àti ró wọlé èèyàn àti ró yan jáde. ẹ bá jẹ́ ntọ́jọ́ lọ́gbọ́n yọ mọ̀ wípé eégún àti ró tó wọlé òun ó ṣeéṣe kó dòun lè èèyàn àti ró tó jáde yìí, àti pé bàbá bá já lẹ́nu sà tọkànra mọ́ tí ń fa ìkùrà tí ń dẹ́. béèyàn bá jẹ́ tó ní làákàyè tó lọ́gbọ́lọ́ pípé tó lọ́pọlọ pípé tó ní ọgbọ́n, ó yẹ kó mọ̀ wípé bájà yìí ọ̀bá lé nǹkan débẹ̀ ó kẹ́ fi nǹkan bẹ̀. báwa ò bá sọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n òyẹ́yẹ́ mi páàkì ń sòmùgọ̀. Ọlọ́run kẹwa ó fún wa lóore ọ̀fẹ́ bíntín bí ò tiẹ̀ pọ̀. ìyẹn túmọ̀ sí pé ntọ́ bá mú mi tí ń bá ronú gbọ̀nà ibì kan lọ, àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n kan náà tó ronú gbàbẹ̀ lọ, wọn ò ní fi ìrònú ọ̀hún sọ́wọ́ èmi àgọ̀ nìkan. sẹ́yìn mo ti ń béèrè pé question bẹ láti béèrè lọ́wọ́ Seyi Makinde, kí ló dé tó ní confident pa máa ráwọn ọmọ yẹn gbà láyọ̀ àtàláfíà. ẹ farabalẹ̀ bí ìyàwó tó fowó ọbẹ̀ dájọ́. number 1, ìpínlẹ̀ Bauchi ní Seyi Makinde wà ń gbà tí wọ́n rescue àwọn ọmọ yìí. kí wàá ní Seyi Makinde sọ tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ tá a fi la ní béèrè láti béèrè lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀. now bẹ́ẹ̀ bá gbàgbé ọ̀rẹ́ wa good morning daddy Peter Obi ńgbà tó wọ́n bọ̀rọ̀ jẹ́ ó ní could you believe pé Seyi Makinde ò tí ì receive call látọ̀dọ̀ President Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu lórí àwọn ọmọ tí wọ́n jí kó láwòrò ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀. bẹ́ẹ̀ bá gbàgbé èmi àkàndọ́ra kòńkó wá báyìí mo ní ìjẹ́jẹ́ mọ̀ wípé officially Seyi Makinde ó sọ fún Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu pé wọ́n jí ọmọ kó. Seyi Makinde dúró pé ó yẹ káàrí ó ti gbọ́, bá ààrẹ bá wá gbọ́ ó yẹ káàrí ó lè kí òun pé òun kú ọ̀rọ̀ ọmọ. meanwhile bí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ bá ṣẹlẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ níjọba ìbílẹ̀ Yorùbá ní bíṣọ̀bù yẹn ó dégbò olúgànbé là ké sí. bí nǹkan bá ṣẹlẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ tó bá jọmọ ilé lọ bá lé ilé la fi sùn. gómìnà ní alága ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ ó pè my governor orújú o orúgbó o nǹkan ṣẹlẹ̀ o báyìí ló ṣe rí o báyìí ló ṣe jẹ́ o. Seyi Makinde ò lè dìmẹ̀ fit láti dá nọ́mbà President Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu. ààrẹ òfojó tí ẹ gbé kà, ààrẹ wo wípé wẹ́ẹ́ nínú 36 governor ìkan péré lọ jẹ́, ṣùgbọ́n ọmọ 39 olùkọ́ méje èèyàn ńlá èèyàn tó pọ̀ ni wọ́n, because nínú àwọn ọmọ 39 ẹ lè sọ fún mi pé kò sí mílíọ̀nìà láàrin wọn, kò sẹ́ni tó lè bá mi proof ẹ̀, torí pọ̀ kò sẹ́ni tó mórí olóyè nígbà ìwé. ńgbà táwa náà wà ń kékeré àwọn àgbà kan mọ̀ kàn wá ń kó òrórí ẹ̀ kẹlẹ̀ sí wọ́n mọ̀ gbá wá ń di òrí díẹ̀ kẹ̀dẹ̀rẹ̀. wọn ò ní mọ̀ wípé orí òkìkí orí ọlá làwọn ń gbá ńgbà kékeré òun. àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ ò ní lan tí wọ́n là kọjá òun kí wọ́n mọ̀ wá jẹ́ èèyàn lọ́la, èèyàn ńlá pọ̀ láàrin wọn ńlọ́jẹ́ kí wọ́n rí ṣòro. nbí tí ọba ti sógo ni ò sógun, nbí tógo bá ti wà Ògún bẹ́ẹ̀ àtogun wọn jọ ń fẹ̀gbẹ́kẹ̀gbẹ́ rìn bórí bá sì ti tóbi tó ní ṣe fó lórí ìyẹn ò dá mi lójú dáadáa wípé àwọn ọmọ yìí olóríire pọ̀ láàrin wọn àwọn òbí wọn sì jèrè wọn. Alright, mo wá wí ngbà náà mo ní ẹnjìnà Seyi Makinde ṣé ọ̀fọ̀rọ̀ yìí ṣòṣèlú ẹgbọ́n nǹkan tí Seyi Makinde sọ. Oyo school abduction came hours after my 2027 presidential declaration. Ìyẹn ò Seyi Makinde ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Oyo state governor Seyi Makinde on Friday ìyẹn lánàá òde yìí o lára tí ń sọ ní Bauchi nu o kò tí ì mọ̀ pa ara wọn ọmọ òun gbà jáde ṣe statement yẹn yẹ lẹ́nu ẹni tó jẹ́ chief security officer of a state Seyi Makinde tó ti lọ ọdún mẹ́jọ lọ lórí ipò tó wà gẹ́gẹ́ bí gómìnà. Oyo state governor Seyi Makinde on Friday said the abduction of pupils and teachers from Orire local government area occurred just hours after he declared his intention to contest the 2027 presidential election. Makinde made this remark while addressing a meeting with Bauchi State Governor Bala Muhammad and leaders of the Allied People's Movement in Bauchi, ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú wọn APM no. Recalling that Oyo had not recorded a similar incident during his 7 years in office before the May 15 attack. Ntí Seyi Makinde ń gbìyànjú àti sọ ǹgbé láti ẹjọ́ tó ń ti wà lórí àlééfà o irú ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ò ṣẹlẹ̀ rí kí ló wá dé tọ́jà pé ó ń kéde interest òun bó ń fẹ́ dupò ààrẹ ní wàhálà wa wọlé wẹ́rẹ́ wọ́n fẹ́ fi kíní implicate òun ni ẹ wòlé ayé báyìí agbọ́nsẹ́ òyìnsẹ́ sójú olóko déédéé wú lásán ni àwọn kan ń rò wípé ìjọba àpapọ̀ fẹ́ fi bókọ Seyi Makinde jẹ́ àwa kan ń rò wípé Seyi Makinde fẹ́ fi bókọ ìjọba àpapọ̀ jẹ́ èmi ò sínú ẹni tí ó torí babẹ́ agbádá láti sọ̀rọ̀ tàbí tí wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ tí wọ́n pè ń wí bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́ èrò ọkàn wa ni gẹ́gẹ́ bí èèyàn ẹlẹ́ran ara ìwọ náà ó rò bẹ́ẹ̀ bọ́ọ̀ bá dẹ̀ lè rò bẹ́ẹ̀ Ọlọ́run kẹ́ ọ. So he said, and I quote, "For 7 years we didn't witness anything like this in Oyo State. I declare ó dùn mí mi tètè extract fídíò yẹn jáde òun gangan ní bá play. I didn't witness anything like this in Oyo State. Má padà lónú program mi. I declared to run for presidency of Nigeria at 4 o'clock and by 9 a.m. the following morning the children were abducted." My lovely brothers and sisters, ǹjẹ́ ọ̀rọ̀ yìí yẹ kó jáde lẹ́nu gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ chief security officer inú state kan? Alright, hours after Seyi Makinde's remark in Bauchi, the presidency announced that all the victims had been rescued after spending 56 days in captivity. The presidency said the victims were freed during a joint operation involving the military, the Department of State Services, and the police, with 8 suspected Ajinigbe arrested and others neutralized. According to the presidency, 8 suspected kidnappers were arrested and are currently in DSS custody, while several others were neutralized during the operation. Oyo avoided quick fix approach with bandits in release of the abducted pupils. Commissioner Losobe, the presidency also said there was no negotiation or exchange to secure the victims' release, despite the abductors' demand for the release of one of their detained kingpins, who is currently facing prosecution. Following the rescue, Makinde expressed relief and thanked the president, the military, the police, the DSS and other security agencies for securing the victims' freedom. Kí ni ó ń gbìyànjú àti sọ? Ó ń ṣe mí ó ń gbà mí, á ṣe dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹni tí ń ṣe ni tí ń gbá ní. Ìwọ náà ló ní ọ̀sẹ̀lẹ̀ rí. Ìgbà tó o sọ pé o fẹ́ jẹ pírẹ́sídẹ̀ǹtì ńlọ́wáyé. Èdè wa lédè tó tún wá ń kí wọn pé wọ́n kú iṣẹ́ takuntakun. Okay o. The governor described the rescue as a big relief in Tosonu, but at least ara ọ̀yà gágá díẹ̀ ẹrù ó kúrò lórí òun díẹ̀ for the families of the victims and the people of Oyo State. No, for you as a governor, the chief security officer of a state. Torí díẹ̀ ntàlàbá nú apẹ́ ẹ̀dùn kékeré ń tọ́dọ̀ wá. Ìwọ náà la máa pè, ìwọ la máa pariwo, ìwọ la máa ké sí lójó lẹ́rùn. Gómìnà kíní ti ń pẹ́ ju ẹ bá wa yọ̀ǹda àwọn ọmọ yìí a ti ń pariwo tẹ́lẹ̀ náà. Tinubu also commended the security agencies for rescuing the victims without collateral damage and directed emergency agencies to work with Oyo State government to provide medical care and other support for the rescue pupils and teachers. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ààrẹ rẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí àgbàlagbà àwọn nǹkan kan bẹ tá a gbọ́dọ̀ gbàgbé onígbàgbọ́ tíjàre ẹja ṣe tiwa fọ́lọ́run. Ẹ̀yin tọ́rọ̀ kàn ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà nígbànú tọ́jú ẹ kọ́kọ́ handle àwọn ọmọ yìí ẹ bá wa tọ́jú wọn ẹ fún therapy. Àwọn èèyàn kan ti sọ pé those children need therapy, nǹkan wọ́n need ju therapy lọ o. They need more than therapy. Wọ́n need ìtọ́jú tó péye. Ẹ sì bá wa fún ọ ní ntọ́ dáa tí wọ́n ó lè táwọn ọmọ ó fi máa rántí lọ́jọ́ ọ̀la. Ẹ mọ́ kàn dá wọn padà fóbi wọn lásán eléyìí ni ó dùn wá táwọn ó tún padà wá sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí. Makinde formally declared his intention to contest the 2027 presidential election on May 14 at a joint rally of the People's Democratic Party and the Allied People Movement in Ibadan, where he announced his ambition. He absolutely emerged as the presidential candidate of the Allied People's Movement at the party's primary later that month, after running as its consensus candidate. It's big relief. Okay, now ẹ̀já gbọ́rọ̀ Makinde o. Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State has described the release of abducted persons in the state as a big relief, saying the state government and the families had waited 57 days for their freedom. In a telephone interview with ilé-iṣẹ́ television kan aired on lónìí, Makinde thanked service commanders, the Nigeria Police, the Department of the State Services, the military and the Federal High Command for their roles in rescuing the release, in securing the release. He also expressed appreciation to President Bola Tinubu for what he described as sustained prayer that helped bring the matter to a resolution. He said, and I quote, "Thank you so much. It is such a big relief for all of us and for those waiting for this past 57 days. I think it's a big relief for all of us, and we use the opportunity to say thank you to our service commanders, the Nigeria Police, the DSS, the military, and the High Command, and of course the President for pushing really hard to have this thing done." Makinde said he was overjoyed by the development, but noted that he would speak further once he had gathered his thoughts. Makinde also thanked the media for keeping the momentum in keeping all stakeholders on their toes until the victims were released. Àwa náà kíra wa pa kú oríire tàwọn ọmọ wa tó padà. Now, okay, ọ̀rọ̀ mbẹ́mbẹ́ o. Now, bóyá kí n kọ́kọ́ play ọ̀rọ̀ Seyi Makinde ká tó wá treat ọ̀rọ̀ Peter Obi tó ní, can you imagine presidency ò tí ì pé Seyi Makinde, Yorùbá ní bókè ọ̀bá lọ bá mọ̀ọ́mọ̀ wọ́n máa mọ̀ fún rẹ̀ rí bókè. Èèyàn méjì ò kì í jẹ̀bi kíkí. Bọ́ bá ní lágbájá ò kí mi tàbí tàgbẹ̀dù ò kí mi, wọ́n á ní kí ló dé tí wọ́n náà kọ́kọ́ kí. Bí ọba kọ́kọ́ kí ọ, tí wọ́n bá kọ́kọ́ kí kò sí ní tó burú ńbẹ̀. Káró sọ ọmọdé, káròdì má sọ kídi ọmọ ti gbófo. Sèfínì wọn ìjìjà kíkí. Now, ẹ máa gbọ́ o, after the Oríire rescue, is Seyi Makinde still waiting for the presidential phone call? Seyi Ọládẹ̀jọ lọ́kọ́, Lagos APC chieftain. Ọ̀rọ̀ kì í bẹ̀ ló jẹ́ kí n mú wá. Kò sọ̀rọ̀ tí mo mú wá tí ò ní túmọ̀. The successful rescue of the Oríire abductees is a moment of relief for every well-meaning Nigerian. We rejoice with the parents, families, and the peoples of Oyo State whose prayer have finally been answered. We salute the gallant officers and men of our security agents whose courage, professionalism, and painstaking intelligence-led operations made the rescue possible. But beyond the celebration lies a political question that Governor Seyi Makinde owes Nigerians to answer. Béèrè tí mo wá béèrè lọ Seyi Makinde rèé, because nígbà tí mo sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ń jó ní comment section ẹnìkan ti sáré ta sí mi, Mr. Wikonko, why are you talking like a kid? Tí federal government ò bá wà aware, ta ló ń control àwọn ọlọ́pàá, ta ló ń control sọ́jà? That means president wà aware nìyẹn. Mo ní president wà aware, ó yàtọ̀ sí wípé wọ́n inform presidency formally. Òkú tí ìṣe ní ọjọ́ tọ̀fọ̀, iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n bá bẹni sí tó ń ti yìn ní rìn, èyí tí wọn ò pe ní síta jẹ́ tó ń ti yà ní rìn, kọ́ọ̀sì dìmáàndì kí Seyi Makinde ó kí fóònù mọ́lẹ̀. Hello sir, my president, ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ báyìí la mọ̀ rí nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ o, ẹ dákun o, ẹ gbà wá o. ẹ ń bá tó nígbà náà lásà fọ̀rọ̀ lọ, ẹ gbà wá o. Ìyẹn ni pé wọ́n sọ formally, bọ̀ kẹ́yìn ọkàn máa sọ ọ̀fẹ́ ṣènáwó nísìn wọ́n sọ wípé ẹ yẹ káwókó gbọ́. After all, mo ṣàpolówó lórí rédíò, ó ṣe mo ti gbọ́ wọn kàn wá ní kọ́ sí dìmáàndì kó pè mí. Ẹ ló wá Wikonko, mo fẹ́ celebrate báyìí báyìí o, mo fẹ́ ṣe nǹkan báyìí báyìí o, lọ́jọ́ báyìí báyìí o, yóò wù mí kọ́ wà ńbẹ̀ o. Sèfínì o invite mi nu bí n kò tiẹ̀ rí invitation náà máa gba invitation ẹ̀ àmọ́ onínáwó ló pè mí o, ẹ pè síta òun ló pè mí ló invite mi, n ò yọjú náà wá o. So but beyond the celebration lies a political question that Governor Seyi Makinde owes Nigerians to answer. Is he still waiting for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's phone call? When I said it the other time, àwọn èèyàn accuse mi bí ẹni pé mi mọ nǹkan tí mò ń ṣe, kò sábà sí nǹkan tákàndá ọ̀rọ̀ Wikonko sọ tí mi ò ní reason and purpose tí mo fi sọ, tàbí tó jẹ́ pé mi nìkan ni màá wá ronú in that direction. Torí pé ìwọ lè mọ̀ wípé Ọlọ́run kẹ́ mi ní sọ́jú bá ń lọ, Ọlọ́run fún mi lórí ọ̀fẹ́. God bless you. Is he still waiting for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's phone call? At the height of the unfortunate incident, Governor Makinde chose to shift national attention from the plight of the victims to what appeared to be his disappointment that the president had not personally called him. Instead of inspiring confidence in ongoing rescue efforts, he succeeded in creating a needless media conversation around protocol and political optics. It was an unfortunate attempt to reduce governance to symbolism. Today, the Orire victims are back home, not because of a presidential phone call, but because President Tinubu did what presidents are elected to do, to take action, to put in effort. Kì í ṣe láti make phone call tí unnecessary. I surface phone call. No, we don't expect that from our president. We need action, and it has shown just like that. Not because of a presidential phone call, but because President Tinubu did what presidents are elected to do. Deploy the full weight of the Nigerian state against criminals until justice prevailed. The president understood that victims in captivities needed action, not headlines. But Seyi Makinde needed headlines. Yóò bọ́ níròyìn sọ̀rọ̀. Àwa mọ̀ wípé inú gbó Odoyo National Park ni wọ́n wà. A máa rá àwọn ọmọ yẹn gbà padà. Ṣẹ́yìn òbí believe wa, a máa gba àwọn ọmọ yẹn padà. Ó ń dì wọ́n mú, ó ń ọ̀gì wọn, ń ṣe gbáyín ṣàwo. At the end of the day, kí ló ti di ọ̀gì ẹ̀ jáde? Ọlọ́run ràn yín lọ́wọ́. While political actors obsessed over who called whom, wọn Peter Obi nu táǹpẹ́ nìkan, kí ni impact Peter Obi, kí ni influence ẹ̀ lórí àwọn ọmọ tọ́jáde yìí, gbogbo nǹkan politics ní lọ́dọ̀ Peter Obi, ìdí inú tí ò fi lè so lórí, tí ò fi lè lead wa Nàìjíríà. While political actors obsessed over who called whom, security agencies were painstakingly gathering intelligence, tracking criminal networks, coordinating operations, and risking their lives to bring innocent Nigerians home safely. That is leadership. The irony is difficult to ignore. Those who are busy counting missed calls, àwọn alákọ̀rí wọ́n count iye missed call, contributed little to the actual rescue, while those who said less accomplished the more. Yes, of course. Kí ni Peter Obi ṣe tọ́ràn wá lọ́wọ́ tó jẹ́ káwọn ọmọ èèyàn wálé láyọ̀ àtàláfíà? Nothing. Could you believe that Seyi Makinde has not received phone calls from the presidency? Kí ni olóhùn tẹ̀rín bí ohun egbére òun? The irony is difficult to ignore. Okay, this episode once again exposes a disturbing tendency among some opposition politicians to politicize virtually every national challenge. Every tragedy becomes an opportunity for cheap political points. Every security challenge becomes an avenue to manufacture controversy against the federal government. It is not needed, and that is not a symbol of a true leadership. Unfortunately, criminals do not care about partisan affiliations. Kidnappers do not distinguish between APC and PDP. Ṣé bá tí wọ́n fẹ́ káwọn ọmọ yìí ṣé wọ́n béèrè lọ́wọ́ wọn PDP mọ́mí ẹni àbí APC? They didn't. Wọ́n kàn tari àwọn ọmọ ọlọ́mọ sínú kínní wọ́n sì yìnbọn fáwọn tí wọ́n yìnbọn fún wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ tí wọ́n dùn lọ́rùn wọ́n ò béèrè bóyá APC ni bóyá PDP ni. What they understand is the force of a determined state backed by capable security institutions and decisive leadership. That is precisely what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu provided. Without fanfare, he mobilized the nation's security architecture. Without emotional grandstanding, he allowed professionals to do their work. Bola Tinubu ò sọ̀rọ̀, kò gbé press conference, kò ṣe nǹkan kan, ó ṣiṣẹ́ rẹ̀ lọ underground. Without joining needless public exchanges, pé mo gbọ́ tí lágbájá sọ báyìí mo gbọ́ tàmẹ̀dún sọ báyìí òní ọmọ bá ọ̀bọ Peter Obi jáwúra ní ọmọ bá ọ̀bọ rẹ̀ jẹ́ko láíláí. Bọ́lá Tinubu ti dàgbà jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ lóṣèlú bàbá wọn ní ìgbọ́n màmá àtàkìtì kan forí sọlẹ̀ wàhálà ilé ayé tiwọn nu. Without joining needless public exchanges, he remained focused on one objective: the safe return of the victims. The outcome indicates that approach. Governor Makinde's fixation with a presidential phone call now appears misplaced. Leadership is not validated by receiving ceremonial calls from the commander-in-chief. Leadership is demonstrated through effective collaboration with federal security agencies and reassuring anxious citizens while sensitive operations are ongoing. One would have expected that, following the successful rescue, Governor Makinde will publicly commend the president, the armed forces, the police, the Department of State Services, and every security agencies involved in the operation. Such statesmanship would have elevated public discourse above partisan politics. Instead, Nigerians are left wondering whether the politics of perceived neglect was merely a convenient distraction. The Orire episode offers an important lesson to public office holders. In moments of national emergency, there are no APC victims or PDP victims. There are only Nigerians whose life deserve protection. There are no APC security agencies or PDP security agencies. There is only one Nigeria security architecture working daily to keep our nation safe. President Tinubu has repeatedly demonstrated that security is too serious to be subordinated to partisan calculations. His administration has consistently supported every state government irrespective of political affiliation because constitutional responsibility knows no particular color. The successful rescue at Orire is therefore not a victory for one political party over another. It is a victory for responsible leadership over political theatrics. It is a victory for quiet efficiency over media sensationalism. It is a victory for substance over symbolism. Perhaps Governor Makinde now appreciates that the phone call Nigerians were truly waiting for was never from ISORO to Agodi government house. It was the life-changing phone call informing anxious parents that their children had finally regained their freedom. That call eventually came. It mattered infinitely more than any political conversation. As this dust settles, one thing is abundantly clear. History will remember who rescued the victims, not who complained about receiving or missing a phone call. In the end, results will always silence rhetorics. Gomina Seyi Makinde, are you still waiting for that phone call from Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Keep waiting. Bàtàrí ọ̀jẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀. Okay. Well, ẹ já gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu Gómìnà Seyi Makinde o. Okay, mò ń bọ̀ náà. Ẹ já kọ́kọ́ gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu ẹ̀ ń bí.
Unbelievable. When Chibok happened, it was the fault of President Jonathan. They went all over the world, asked Jonathan to bring back the children. But this happened. No. It is the irresponsibility of the state governor and the state government. So we need to look at our architecture and be sure that where you give responsibility, you also give authority to deal with those responsibilities. And that is exactly what we will do if the people of Nigeria will trust it.
Gómìnà àbí Ọlọ́run ràn wá lọ́wọ́. Alright, ẹ̀já tó gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu gómìnà padà o. Ẹ ti gbọ́ gbogbo nǹkan tó sọ yẹn. Ó ń try láti refer sí Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu. Gbẹ́ngbà tí wọ́n kó àwọn ọmọ Chibok, Tinubu wà nínú ẹ̀wọ̀n tó sọ wípé kí Jonathan ọmọ bí ó ṣe gba àwọn ọmọ ọlọ́mọ padà o. Ṣùgbọ́n gbà tí ìjọba àbílẹ̀ oríire ṣẹlẹ̀, wọ́n wá ní gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ni o. Ẹgbọ́n ta ni Chief Security Officer State. Ó náà ni dọ̀sí mi wípé wọn challenge gọ́fìnà Borno nígbà náà. Ẹ já gbọ́rọ̀ Seyi Makinde ńgbà tó lọ ṣàbẹ̀wò sí àwọn ọmọ yìí.
The 39 of them. Also, 5 of the 7 teachers. So we give glory to God and we say thank you to our troops, the officers and men. We lost some officers and part of our troops as well. So all the families that have lost loved ones in this whole process, we want to assure them that their loved ones will not have died in vain. So I'm extremely happy.
You've just gone in there to interact with the children and their teachers. What did you take out? What's their state of mind? How are they feeling? We've not seen them, so you tell us what's their status at this particular time.
First, I can see that they were happy to be out of captivity, just like any of us. When your freedom is taken away, it's a different set of mind. But they are glad to be back. Some of them are still very frail. They have to do quite a bit of medical intervention, post-traumatic issues, to be addressed. But we have the team ready to do that.
How soon are they going to be reunited with their families?
With the plan right now, we'll watch them over the next 48 hours. So by Monday, we think an assessment will be done, and maybe there will be a formal transfer from the military to the state, and then we can manage the process from that point forward. But also today, we are putting logistics together to at least bring the family members to come and see them. There's a small girl in there that basically she has been asking, where's my mom? Where's my mom? So at least we want the mom to be able to come and then see her.
Is there another thing you need, or you think we need to know that you want to tell us, sir?
The what?
Your final message, Governor.
Well, my final message is that, look, it's our country. All countries around the world, they do have challenges. So when we're challenged, it's not usually the best time for us to sow seeds of division. It's the best time for us to come together, and confront our challenges. So that's really what, at this moment, I want to say to the people. In the course of the week, I will officially brief Oyo State people and the nation at large on what exactly has transpired.
Okay. Seyi Makinde máa sọ nǹkan tó transpired fún wa.